return of Meghan. Harry and the royal family are preparing for the worst. Hello everyone and welcome to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel. One royal commentator, Benjamin, said Meghan had nothing to lose. Now many are claiming that she is going out with a big bang. Now we learn Meghan is writing a book. We're told she's writing a tell-all memoir that will be her final farewell to royal life. She knew she was done. She made it clear that no member of the royal family wanted to see her again. She knew the British public hated her. Experts explained that I live in Bray, a few miles from Windsor, and can confirm that the people of that royal town will never forget how he made the Queen's last year's hell. It is said that it is true how many people believe that he hastened the Queen's death. The royal family also believes in this. The family was united in Charles's decision not to allow the duplicitous actress to the Queen's deathbed. What we read in the press about reconciliation with the royal family should be taken with caution. It won't happen. The Duke of Netflix, as Talk TV called him this morning, has been virtually banned from our corridors. When Harry informed the Queen that he intended to have half and half of the royal family working abroad, but would return for major royal events and ceremonies, investitures, garden parties at Buckingham Palace, the flag vote, etc., the Queen had to say, on its merits, to have none of it. With Philip's advice and support, she encouraged Meghan to leave the UK. Some will still say that they have decided to give up the royal life. This isn't true. Markle and the dim one were given the order of the boot, as was confirmed today by a London journalist who is a national treasure in Fleet Street. And all this apparently has caused Meghan to become very bitter indeed. As we already know, we've talked about a lot, she is so jealous of Catherine, the woman who one day will be queen. Meghan just can't deal with seeing Catherine's happy family enjoying some well-deserved attention from the public. Meghan is now extremely popular not only in the UK but also in the US. From this it is known that it is known. So his final attempt to complete it will be the memories of his story. And we understand that the publisher, whoever it is, wants to make money off their investment. And they encourage them to actually interact with the royal family. They would be more than happy to turn a blind eye to his lies because it would bring shame on the royal family and they think his copies would sell well. Meghan will see this as her opportunity for revenge. She will use this book to throw Harry under the bus because she doesn't need him anymore. He has exceeded his goal. Now Meghan can leave him. He can discredit the royal family and make a lot of money in the process. And this is what she has planned. So Penguin Random House published Spare, and boy did they market this book with some tricks. They shipped twice as many books as retailers ordered and gave away a free copy with every online order. And then they falsely claimed that the book was a bestseller and that it broke records for non-fiction memoirs. Because they considered all books sent to sellers as sold and ignored all returned books. And now it looks like Meghan is trying to write a storybook. So does Penguin Random House want to publish it? And if Spare was so successful, why didn't they try to get a second Harry book? Many people said they didn't want to buy Harry's book, but then they did. People love to think bad of other people because it often makes them feel better about themselves. What people though cannot see is that Harry and Meghan have leveled so many accusations against the royal family in the media, but they haven't produced any evidence to support any of their claims. They know they can say whatever they want about the royal family because they know the royal family can't fight back. And in Meghan's book, I hope she includes, references to singing seals, the car chases in New York during a traffic jam, Harry's adventures in the chicken coop, some weird blurry photos of the invisible children, and also I hope we get some more stories about Harry's Todger. Oh my goodness, however, her biggest problem is that she has no one in her life who truly cares about her. I am sure she has parasites, but they are not there because they care about her. They just want something from her. Meghan is toxic and that will never change. So does Harry, but he seems too stupid to understand his predicament. He and Meghan believe that when people pay attention to them, it's because they love them. But in reality, people are fascinated by their connection to the royal family. Personally, they have nothing to offer anyone. Chapter: What do you think of Meghan's new plan to write a global memoir? I know we can expect you to share your thoughts in the comments section. Now let's talk a little bit about your opinion that you shared in my previous video. I'll show you some of our videos of Meghan killing Invictus. Well, it seems some of you think Harry deserves some tough love. I tend to agree. Bella says, well, that's what happens when someone stops it, people need to stop making fun of him. Without the resources he had and still has, many people have been and will continue to be harmed. It's time to do this. Then some people agreed, and Suzanne said, I totally agree. The old Londoner remembered seeing two solemn little boys following their mother's coffin on the day of Diana's funeral, and like most Londoners, I wept over the senseless death of the beautiful princess, who was so human that we can all identify with him. But for two little boys who lost their loving mother. 2 decades later, William seems to be moving on with his life, while Harry, well, we all know where Harry is, and it's not good at all. He chose a woman from hell as his wife and seems to be living in some kind of living nightmare. I tend to agree. But I don't think too much sympathy for Harry will help him. I agree with what Bella said. People should stop quoting him. He must learn to stand on his own 2 feet. I'm always happy when I hear from people who share my view of the mainstream media, like Margot Hartwell, 6195. Margot says, the disturbing thing is that the mainstream media reports that they are doing well. Daily Mail put their mugs on the front page today with a picture of Invictus being a huge success. I am very uncomfortable. We don't hear anything about veterans or games, just pictures of the two. At least Harry seems to be taking it seriously, but she's treating it like a Meghan Markle show. Chapter: Tired of it. I've had enough, Margot. I'm really tired of seeing mainstream media cover them in a positive way but ignore all the problems they cause. Meghan and Harry are not the ones we should be celebrating, they are the people we should ignore. I really like this theory that Phoenix Dyer shares with us. I agree with the comments. I think that's why someone might have banned him from the games. It is about money. They don't want to risk the games and probably don't know what Harry does with the money. You are probably right. When something suspicious happens, you can usually easily find the answer just by following the money. And I guess it's the same here. I'm also glad to see that most of you are as upset as I am that Meghan and Harry are taking the spotlight away from veterans. Missy said it was about the veteran, who was also very tired of his hypocrisy. Do not honor our brave soldiers. He is disgusting. I can only agree. And then Wendy says, Simon Weston is a real hero. He fought his way to the top and proved that he is a true warrior. He is a man who is very familiar with the gremlins that plague many veterans and, in my humble opinion, is the best person for the job. I agree with you, Wendy. I hate the fact that we have to listen to Meghan and Harry instead of people like Simon who actually have something important to say. Karen said the soldiers went through hell fighting for us. They lose limbs and or suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, but Kate made him cry, and that, in his opinion, gives him the right to preach. It's incredibly sick that he's making millions off of this. Talk about adding insult to injury. It's amazing that Meghan Markle thinks she even belongs on this stage. And then Sandalio says, Meghan's speech revealed everything about her. It is sad that we haven't heard anything about the veterans and their families. The press is so focused on Meghan's speech, fashions and how great she is. Thankfully, we can't see that. I don't know what they're talking about anyway. What exactly is so great about Meghan Markle? As always, please keep on sharing your opinions because I just love reading your views anyway. I'm going to continue with the information surrounding Meghan's memoir. So one fan wants to give to Meghan Markle once and for all. Let everything out at once. Write your memoir. Tell all. No more drip feeding. You and your husband have made fools of yourselves already with your nonsensical tidbits and lies and half truths. Your book, as Harry Spare, will only make you look more foolish, vindictive, and ugly. How can someone with a worldly life of 40 years, even an actress who was largely unknown until her marriage to a famous prince, be long enough for a memorabilia collection? We have already heard many times about your letter to the washer fluid manufacturer. We read excerpts from your blog, The Stem, where you praised your father and your favorite wine, yawn. We've seen the typical childhood and teenage photos that most of us have. Birthday parties, reunions with family members you no longer have contact with, graduation photos and first wedding photos. After you've said all that, maybe just 18 months of being a working king shouldn't be much to say. And when this is done, maybe others will come forward and write a report about you. Bring it on. Meanwhile, another person chimed in, while I agree that Meghan is jealous of Catherine and really wants and expects to be in her place, that shows how much Harry cares about her. Talked about royal life before the wedding. I think Harry is more bitter now. He probably isn't happy in California. While he enjoys events that attract a lot of attention when he's on stage with his name or title in the spotlight, he doesn't quite get the attention he received as a member of the royal family. In the UK, he is the only member of the monarchy. In the US, is just another celebrity getting attention that I think he cares about money for the first time in his life. Winfrey's interview confirmed this. But because of his qualifications, he doesn't really know how to do it. He doesn't know anything but Polish, and people are fed up with him constantly bemoaning his mental health and the untimely death of his mother. He has no idea how to make an entertaining series. That's why their deal with Spotify fell through, with Netflix putting pressure on them to fulfill their contractual obligations. I think Meghan is more ambitious because she knows she needs to stay relevant in this industry. This is difficult for them to do. But Harry still hangs around, showing up at events as ordered. But now he has to make his own decisions, which I think is very hard on his brain. His reactions to the changes in his life seemed painful, and in some photos he appears rather sinister. Meghan should never have walked through the doors of Buckingham Palace, nor should she have been accompanied by the Queen or any member of the royal family. A huge mistake, among many others. This must never happen again. Two traitors who, in the past, would have been imprisoned in the Tower, now, beloved as one of the king's sons, wed to a female who the country loathes. Why is this saga allowed to continue? We know who should be answering the question, but it is time enough to rid of the cancer. Cut it off now. And you, do you also agree with the views in my video? Please let me know what you think below in the comments, and don't forget to like and share this video with others who can enjoy it. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to the Princess Diana News YouTube channel for more updates in the future. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, see you tonight.